Well, in late September, a hurricane blew through southwest Florida, leaving a swath of destruction. A couple of North Metro residents sprang into action once they realized how bad things were in the Sunshine State. It's been a few weeks since Hurricane Ian slammed into southwest Florida, battering the Gulf Coast. Fort Myers and surrounding towns were in the bullseye.
There's nothing on the shoreline. You go lengths without seeing a building where you know before there were 2 and 3 restaurants, there was a souvenir shop, there was a couple of cool duplexes, triplexes. It's gone.
Rick Bandemere and Jackie Egan work for Keller Williams Realty in Blaine. They have connections to the Fort Myers area and were shaken by the destruction caused by Hurricane Ian.
It was heart-wrenching.
After the storm, Rick called some friends at AAA Movers to see if they could assist in relief and cleanup efforts. AAA jumped at the chance.
And within 4 minutes, they texted me back and said that they're in. And they donated a semi-truck, a trailer, and a driver to drive all the way down there. And our job was to fill it with a bunch of goods and supplies.
Soon, Jackie and Rick were part of a Blaine contingent, making the 1,710-mile trip to Fort Myers to volunteer. They filled up the semi and donated goods to residents in need.
Supplies, tools, generators, bleach, cleaning products, different things like that.
They also brought over 80 bikes to Southwest Florida that were donated by a local nonprofit.
You couldn't bring enough bikes, but we brought them, and then you'd see kids riding around. It looked like Christmas.
Southwest Florida is clearly in rebuild mode. Jackie and Rick saw the devastation up close and came away with powerful takeaways.
It's like a war zone. It's like a third country war zone where bombs have gone off. You can go and look at blocks and there's nothing there. There's some foundation pieces maybe. There's some piers where houses were on stilts originally, but the houses are gone.
So I haven't seen as much poverty in America as I've seen by going down there and experiencing that.
There were massive sand mounds created by the 16-foot storm surge, as Ian's high winds toppled trees and structures everywhere. A trailer park in tiny Pine Island, Florida, was almost blown off the map.
Now they were storm damaged with roofs off of them, some completely destroyed, others with walls off of them, but every one of those had water 4 feet high or whatever into those properties, and they're living in them today.
The volunteers from Blaine would walk and drive the streets of Fort Myers, handing out cold water and other essential items to those in need.
You could talk to these people and they had smiles on their faces, but you could see their souls were almost empty. They're lost. I mean, they just don't know what to do, some of them.
People who lost everything in the hurricane were extremely grateful that volunteers like Jackie and Rick showed up to chip in.
I couldn't believe the amount of appreciation, the amount of gratitude, the amount of the smiles you would see. You're handing out a Clorox container and a roll of paper towels, and they're grateful. I mean, to think of that you're handing out things that like you just don't even, you take for granted, and they're grateful.
Yeah, we made a difference, but you walk away going, there's so much more to do. There's so much more left here.
So far, the group has raised $20,000 for hurricane victims. Their goal is to get to $50K or beyond. If you want to donate, go to swfloриdarelief.com. That's swfloриdarelief.com.